Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is ShockWavee, and today we're going to be diving into how to actually play tower control. Yeah, we're just going to dive straight into it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that. I stream on Twitch. Go check that out. Bit inconsistent with streaming lately. I'll try and get back on top of all that. Yeah, just with uni and work, all the rest of it. It's just been a bit hard to keep it consistent. So I'm trying my best. I normally do a couple tournaments on the weekends, so mainly the weekends I'll be on and off, depending what's going on. I always tweet when I'm live, so make sure you go check out that, my Twitter, my Discord server, of course. Get in there, have a chat, talk about a couple of things. Any YouTube ideas you guys have? I'm getting towards the bottom of my list I made, I need to update it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments below or on my Discord server. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into this. Alright, so in tower control, when you're playing, whether it's ranked, whether it's with your team, there's going to be three different types of situations you're going to be putting in. It's going to be the first one, most obvious one, when you're pushing. The other one, obviously, when you're defending. And then your kind of neutral engagement with the tower. So I'm just going to be going through those three. So we're just going to be firstly talking about when you're building up your push, you're coordinating your engagement, and you're trying to get a pick or two to then start pushing the tower. So what you want to be doing here is building up a special or two, whether that's armor, an offensive special like inkjet, to be able to push your opponents back, whether that's pushing them back so you can push the tower to at least the first checkpoint, or you're getting a kill or two, so then your whole team can move forward and you might be able to prepare to, I don't know, push to the second checkpoint even. So this is kind of when it's neutral, you're kind of just throwing bombs, you're painting up, and then you get your special, you use it, you may use two, may use three at once just to clear the area, and then you begin your push. And then once you begin pushing, you then want to try and get, if you can somehow manage to build up another one or two specials to then continue your push and maintain so it doesn't run out of steam when you're pushing, that's going to be great. But then again, defending teams going to be using their own specials to come back, so this is kind of almost a fight of special versus special. So just say you get two down, you start pushing, you get through the first checkpoint, and in between the first and second checkpoint, the defensive team looks like they're kind of pushing back in, they're using specials, you might have gone one or two down. This is when it becomes a question whether you hold, if you can somehow manage to build up another one or two specials to then continue your push and maintain so it doesn't run out of steam when you're pushing, that's going to be great. But then again, defending teams going to be using their own specials to come back. So again, this is going to be situational, that's why I say 80 to 90% of the time. The only time feeding would be a bigger priority over holding your position is when you're a couple points off lead. But this again only comes into account when the push is, I would say, below 30 or 40, or it's really hard to push on that map, or you're about to KO. These are the only two situations when you're about to get lead, you're a couple points off, maybe within 4 or 5 points, or yeah, like you're about to KO. Those are going to be the only two exceptions, I would say, feeding over holding your position. Now, holding your position is basically just say you go one or two players down, the opponents are dropping from snipe, like into street, example, they're rushing the tower. You just want to try and retreat back a little bit, don't give them all the space, and just try and hold mid, throw bombs, just kind of keep paying up in your area and wait for your third or fourth team member to respawn, and then you'll be able to hold pretty much half of the map, instead of, you know, full on feeding. Maybe the last 2 or 3 players die because they feed to get a couple extra points, and then you basically reset back to square one. The other team will have pushed past the first checkpoint and you're basically almost in a lockout phase. So retreating back to hold mid is going to be much more valuable setting up your defense, and even off that, the opposition could be feeding in, they could get picked off one by one as they're trying to, you know, gain possession of mid while you guys are already in there, and you might get a kill or two, then you might be able to start pushing again. So in theory, it's, I mean, it is a bit of a win-win where you just kind of back up, lose a little bit of ground rather than feeding for extra points, and then you have to respawn and they gain mid plus some of your territory on your side of the map. And now off the back of this, I'm going to be explaining how you actually want to be playing defense. Now this is actually going to be similar to Rainmaker, where you want to be using bombs until you get your specials to then defend the Rainmakers. If you throw bombs such as suction bombs, they'll literally just stick on the tower. If you have like double or triple suction bomb, this is actually going to be really valuable. They'll obviously stick to the tower, you can put them on both sides of the tower, and it's going to be really hard for the opposition team to be able to make their push forward. Of course, using splat bombs, auto bombs, fizzy bombs, every kind of bomb is going to be very helpful. Suction bombs are going to be the best for this until you get your specials, whether that's the 2 GG bomb slash ray, obviously with a stingray, or a booyah bomb to easily just stall tower for a couple seconds. They can be really helpful in stopping the tower in like overtime when they're like just about to get lead or they're at a checkpoint. So always keep these 2 things in mind if you're in like a team environment and you're deciding between weapons. If you want like a stingray or a booyah bomb, is always very valuable to have on your team. Obviously bombs, you don't want to be running like ink mine, splash wall, point sensors. I mean, they're good to have, but you don't want to have more than 2 or 3, I would say. You want to have like at least 2 bombs minimum on tower. It's a bit similar to Rainmaker again, like I mentioned before. So yeah, just making sure you use your bombs. Don't drop and feed for tower until you have maybe 1 or 2 specials, whether that's missiles, armor, inkjet, something like that, to make sure you're able to obtain the tower safely and be able to get a pick or 2 to then push back into mid. And again, not feeding unless, of course, it's in overtime, it's a 1v1 or something and you need to get the kill. There's obviously always exceptions to these rules. It's just very situational. It's hard to cover everything. If I was to cover everything, the video would be 30 plus minutes long. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you liked it. Again, I stream on Twitch every so often, mainly on the weekends, sometimes during the week if I have tournaments. Head over onto my Discord. We chat in there. If you've got any new suggestions for YouTube video, any ideas, make sure to leave them in the comments below or in my Discord server. And yeah, that'll be it for me. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, and we'll catch you guys next time.